It was not intended for the Mini Mk1 to become a legend. It began as a crisis, was designed under duress, and had the straightforward objective of producing a little automobile that would fit on congested British roads and save fuel. But in some way, this small, unassuming machine changed the course of automobile history. Beneath its bright exterior and small size, there are a number of unexpected choices, unspoken concessions, and ingenious technical techniques that most people are unaware of. Discover the startling facts about the 1959 to 1967 Mini Mk1 now, which show how this tiny vehicle subtly altered the laws for all time. The Mini Mk1's design philosophy was so drastically different from all other cars of its time that it was one of its greatest secrets. The Mini completely changed the automotive industry at a time when tall hoods and rear-wheel drive configurations were the norm. The car's full footprint may be occupied by passengers since engineers squeezed practically all of the mechanical parts into the smallest possible space. Usable inside space accounted for about 80% of the car's length, which is an almost unthinkable amount for the late 1950s. This was a total reimagining of what an automobile could be, not simply some smart packaging. Another startling fact is that many executives thought the early Mini prototypes were much too unusual. According to several sources, drivers would never trust a car with such little wheels and a strange driving sensation. Compared to competitors, the 10-inch wheels appeared nearly toy-like, but their purpose was to increase maneuverability and cabin space. Critics overlooked the fact that the Mini's agility was unrivaled by larger automobiles thanks to its fine steering and compact wheels. When drivers saw how well the Mini navigated congested city streets, their initial skepticism quickly gave way to adoration. The Mini Mk1's interior minimalism is a little-known secret. It was a necessity rather than a purely aesthetic choice. Because cost-cutting restrictions were so stringent, designers got rid of whatever they thought wasn't necessary. The Mini's exposed metal panels, sparse instrumentation, and useful storage options like door pockets made of basic materials replaced opulent materials and intricate dashboards. However, charm was unintentionally created by its simplicity. Since there was nothing hidden, owners felt a connection to the equipment. Modern cars rarely exhibit honesty in design, which was evident in every switch and surface. The Mini's renownedly smooth handling without the use of conventional suspension technology is perhaps one of its most intriguing secrets. The car used small rubber cone suspension units in place of large steel springs. These provided remarkably responsive handling while saving weight and space. Long before that analogy was frequently used in car reviews, drivers frequently compared the feeling to that of a go-kart. This creative arrangement gave the Mini confidence-inspiring stability despite its small size by enabling each wheel to respond independently to driving conditions. Excellent traction was another hidden benefit of the Mini Mk1 that many drivers were unaware of at first. Weight distribution was ideal for slick surfaces because the engine was positioned above the driving front wheels. Minis frequently outperformed bigger, more potent automobiles that were having trouble gaining traction in wet British weather and in snowy circumstances. Owners soon found that they could go where others could not, making the Mini an unlikely wintertime hero. Drivers who valued dependability over prestige were more loyal as a result of this practical superiority. How the Mini's design was influenced by repairability is another little-known fact. Because roadside repairs were frequent in the 1960s, engineers purposefully made a large number of components accessible and simple to maintain. Owners could service their vehicles without the need for specialist tools because of external door hinges, basic mechanical layouts, and easy engine access. Because of its usefulness, the Mini became a favorite with enthusiasts and young drivers who liked to work on their own cars. It evolved into a hands-on experience that fostered a closer relationship between the car and its owner, going beyond simple transportation. Unexpectedly, the Mini Mk1's popularity nearly caused issues for its creators. Demand soon surpassed supply, and manufacturing plants found it difficult to meet demand. From celebrities to students, the car's cost and usefulness drew a remarkably diverse following. What began as a cheap car quickly evolved into a cultural icon that was seen in movies, motorsports, and city life all around Britain and beyond. Its success demonstrated that personality and inventiveness could be more important than strength or bulk. How the Mini's small size affected driving behavior itself is another little-known fact. Owners started driving differently in the city, parking where others didn't, and confidently negotiating small streets. In addition to adapting to urban settings, the car changed how people interacted with them. Drivers were less intimidated by congested roadways and felt more liberated and impulsive. Decades before contemporary city automobiles appeared, the Mini foresaw the future of urban mobility in many ways. None of these innovations were meant to produce an icon, which is what really sets the Mini Mk1 apart. Simply put, engineers were using their imagination and limited resources to solve issues. However, such limitations compelled creativity, and creativity produced personality. The Mini demonstrated that sometimes achieving more with less leads to brilliance and that extravagance is not always necessary. Its influence is still evident today in almost all small cars built for functionality and efficiency. The Mini Mk1's spirit, not only its engineering or achievement, is its true secret. It demonstrated to the world that a tiny car might be simultaneously entertaining, clever, and groundbreaking. Fans continue to enjoy it decades later, not because it was flawless, but rather because it dared to be unique. The Mini Mk1 quietly earned its place in history without drawing any attention to itself, demonstrating that often the smallest devices leave the greatest legacy.